Hey family, it's African Osar and Co. Back at you with another video. Please like, share, and subscribe the video, family. And I thank you so much for coming and joining us and watching us. So, family, I'm here to talk about an 11-year-old black baby that a young child that took his own life because he was being bullied by his white teacher. And I'm going to read of just a little bit of the article to you. So it says, boy kills himself after months of bullying and harassment. I'm sorry, family. From his own teacher who called him stupid. An 11-year-old an 11-year-old Florida boy took his own life following relentless bullying by his school teacher who repeatedly called him stupid, a disturbing new lawsuit alleges. Lewis Johnson, 11 years old, Lord have mercy, shot himself after enduring months of bullying and public embarrassment from fifth grade teacher Donna White. According to the lawsuit filed by his parents against the Marion County School Board, April 21st. White, a former teacher at Legacy Elementary School in Ocala, called Johnson stupid and said he didn't know anything, and also recruited other students to bully him, according to the wrongful death lawsuit. So, family, that is the end. I'm sorry, I just disconnected. Family, I am a mother and a grandmother. And I will say this, Black people, please, please, we must take charge of our children. You cannot help the community that you live in, I guess, but you should protect your children by any means necessary. Those people don't like children. They don't like their own. Hence, why they are always being predators on their own children uh, in a sexual manner. Family, why would we put those people over our children? I am so grateful that my daughters both went to predominantly black schools, had predominantly black teachers. Occasionally, they did have a couple of Caucasian teachers, but I promise you, I was at the school every opportunity that I got to make sure that they knew me, to ensure I would talk to my child and ask them things, my children, and ask them things as far as how they were treated in the classroom, how they were talked to, was the teacher mean? Sometimes, if the child, depending on the child's age, it can go over their head a little bit. But if you teach your child about aggression, microaggression, and aggression. The family, I'm sorry. See, a lot of parents don't want to teach their children about racism, but then your child experiences it at the hand of a Karen, okay? And or a male Karen, okay? And then you it leads to something like this. This is not the first time that I've heard of something like this, where children, black children, were either bullied by their teacher. Let me tell you an incident. When I was a kid in kindergarten, and kindergarten is really your first interaction with the teacher. I remember thinking at first that the teacher was very nice. But my parents, who uh, the white man would refer to them today as militant, they were not militant. They were diligent about their children, okay? And my father, because my father worked overnight shift, so he had often plenty of time to go up to the school during the day, and he did if he needed to. And my mother would take off her day job if so be necessary. But I remember having a white teacher, and she used to put us all in a group in front of her. And then she would read us a story. While she was reading us a story, she had bumps all over her face. She would pick them and then pop them into us as we were sitting there. And I remember one time mentioning that to my mother. Well, I can tell you, as a black woman, she went up to that school and confronted that teacher. And I mean, her and my dad were together, a front. You understand what I'm saying? And made sure that they let her know that if I came home and told them that anything else had happened, that they would deal with her. Uh, and I don't know if they meant legally or any other way. And I didn't care because I tell you what, when I was there, she didn't pop no more bumps into the children. Imagine being 5 years old and the adult who is supposed to be caring for you when you're in their presence away from your parents do stuff like that. These people are disgusting. They are. And this is why I always ensure to show my face as often as possible. I went to my children's events. I went to parent teacher conferences. I had no issues out of my children. They had no behavioral issues. Okay, so if something happened in their classroom or during them going to school, attending school, then I knew that it was something that may have incited that behavior. So I am saying, family, we know these people are evil. So please communicate with your children. Teach your children what they need to survive. We are living in the belly of the beast, with the beast that we have dealt with for over 400 years. And we know how they get down. Teach your children how they get down. I've even met some teenagers who had never been taught uh, about racism, and then they experienced it. You know what I'm saying? And what good is that? It's no good because at that point, they don't know how to deal with it. And sometimes it can be devastating to them because they're young people. Family, please watch your children. We just heard a story, a news article about little, I think she was 8 years old or 9 years old, going door to door to sell candy. And the white man threatened to shoot her in the face online. And last I checked, that man has not even been arrested. Please, family, we must be diligent about our children. We must. Because these people will do things and they'll let them off with it. Just like the case where the old man shot through the door and shot that 16-year-old young man, you know, and almost killed him. But thank God he didn't. They didn't even want to arrest him. Family, be diligent about your children by any means necessary, as Malcolm X put it. Because I'm going to be diligent about mine and my grandkids. Because if I have to go up to anybody's school, okay, on behalf of a Karen, Karen gonna know next time. And whatever that means, I will pay into an account just so I can have some bail money if necessary, okay? Protect your children, family. They are your most vital asset that you have been blessed with. Protect them by any means necessary and at all cost. All right, family, thank you so much for joining me. Have a blessed one and take care. Bye bye.